Welcome back to Gear Check Games. This is episode 16 of our Kingdom Hearts 1.5 for the PS4 playthrough. And
there's a tournament being held at the Coliseum.
Yeah. Every time that you pass some kind of mile marker in the game, the little chipmunks, Chip and Dale, will tell you that there's a new tournament. But we're not going to do the tournament yet. We need to go to Agrabah. But before we go to Agrabah, we need to build ourselves a ship.
Agrabah.
But Trey, we've got a ship.
Do you show the whole shipbuilding process?
Let me just scrub
no.
through the episode to see if this takes the whole episode. No, not quite.
Yeah, I'm gonna spare you the building for the reveal after I name the ship.
Gear ship.
I thought that you were gonna name it Jeb Bush.
Alright, I don't know if you're ready for this. Are you ready for the most impractical polygons?
Where did that come from?
Is that a basketball hoop?
It's a rugby goal.
You remember those little foam like puzzle toys that they had in your kindergarten class? You could like snap them together. They were like a foot wide each, and they were like squares. You could put them together. You had the little.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just those. It's just a floor made of those.
Oh my god,
So
the least efficient.
It's a very
weapon
poorly made
placement.
ship.
Yeah, how do the does anyone here know like how the weapon positioning affects like where they shoot?
I think that different types of weapons shoot in different directions. I may be off base.
I think if you line them up horizontally, they shoot horizontally, but if you line them up vertically, they'll shoot like straight. I think. But I do not know that for fact.
So it's the way that you like rotate them in the editor?
No, I think it's like if they're stacked on top of each other, then they'll be vertical, but if they're stacked next to each other, they'll be like sideways. I think
they'll just come out of wherever the guns are placed on the ship, and then different guns fire different things in different directions and whatnot.
You know, I appreciate the expediency of your playthrough, Trey, but I have to admit I am a little disappointed we didn't get to spend more time in the Gummy Garage, because the music that plays in there is no doubt one of my favorite tracks in the game.
it's so good. Maybe I'll put a link to it.
You just entered a battle in Final Fantasy.
It's... What?
What?
I didn't hear what you said, because
I said Trey just entered a battle in Final Fantasy because of the black hole transition.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, yeah, it did kind of look like that, didn't it?
Who are these angry, blue-haired, spiky fellows?
Y'all remember how they added battle entry and exit transitions to the PS1 version of Final Fantasy V, and it made the fights take like 15 to 30 seconds longer every encounter?
Man, if you're talking about the Final Fantasy Anthology collection, that was my first experience trying out Final Fantasy VI.
Ooh.
And I put down that game after a few sessions because I just could not stand how laggy it is whenever you pause it.
Yeah, it's the going into the menus and entering and exiting battles, like the way that they ported it added like 5 seconds on either side of all of those things.
Like, how was it? I don't know. I know it was a different time. Like, that was when Sony was like, didn't they have some policy about like, oh, your game must have some 3D component or else we won't publish it?
I don't know that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that sounds like that sounds like game console companies.
Late 90s. Well, I bring that up because I know the Anthology collection added in all these extra like CG cinematics.
Those weren't bad. Well, I mean, they were bad, but
they weren't bad from like what
fun.
I've seen of them, you know, relative to everything else coming out at the time. But it was just like, is it worth the price of like the pace of the game being grinded to a halt every time you want to open a menu?
Oh man, you just reminded me that I believe there was at least I think it might have been the Steam release of Chrono Trigger that was a bit poopy. But I think there was like a DS re-release of Chrono Trigger or something. Some later version of Chrono Trigger added like actual 2D, like Akira Toriyama anime cutscenes.
I think that was the PS1 version.
Oh, I think that was PS1.
Yeah, and they did it for the DS version as well.
I think the DS version added like a new like Coliseum area or something.
Yeah, and it had all those cutscenes as well.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm kind of shocked that they actually got Gilbert Gottfried to voice Iago in this game.
What if this or the next episode started with a shout out from the actual Gilbert Gottfried?
Is he on Cameo?
He is.
We are in a crisis. Do not spend your money on these things.
It's less than $100, I think.
What? Why? Why is he selling himself so cheaply?
Well, the question is, why is Billy Zane so expensive?
Because he's the final boss,
So-
Nick, alright? There's a hierarchy to these things.
So, I love Aladdin. Is probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite Disney Renaissance movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I have one small complaint, and it has to do with Iago, his design. He has a beak and teeth.
Yeah, do you think Tokiyami from My Hero Academia has a beak and teeth?
I think he does, doesn't he?
He does have teeth.
It's how he eats apples.
Well, I think they gave Iago teeth so that he was like
Although-
more clearly a caricature of Gilbert Gottfried.
Gottfried, yeah.
Because,
Which still doesn't make any biological sense, but I guess I understand the reasoning a little more now.
They gave him teeth so he could take a bite out of an apple, clearly.
like, I get that he's a cartoon bird, but like, they could still just
Okay,
make him a bird.
so,
like,
Trey.
birds ain't got teeth.
Would you rather that he had teeth but no beak?
Then he wouldn't be a bird.
He just looks like an Assassin's Creed Origins character.
He'd
Oh,
just be like when Daffy Duck gets his beak blown backwards.
Oh, no you don't. Not again. Sorry.
Now, when are we gonna get the Looney Tunes version of Kingdom Hearts instead of
You mean Looney Tunes back in action? With Steve
but like
Zahn?
in video game form?
Please make that.
I just want to see Bugs Bunny and friends like in the ridiculous like Kingdom Hearts outfits.
Yes. Well, like, wasn't there like a huge, like in the '90s, wasn't there a thing to make them look like they were all like rappers or something?
Like gang, yeah.
Well, I
that
know
was, like,
in the early 2000s there was a
Yeah.
cartoon called Lunatics, where they
But,
were in
you
like
know,
the
so-
future.
Lunatics Unleashed was different because it wasn't it was like Tiny Toons in that it wasn't the characters. However, unlike Tiny Toons, it actually was mostly their descendants.
Is that
Whereas
is that what they
in-
do whenever they're afraid that like their new idea is gonna piss people off? It's like, oh, it's not actually Bugs Bunny; it's his distant grandson from the future.
well, hey, Lunatics Unleashed was like hype as hell. So we're gonna continue to stand it in this house. But
Fair enough.
I hear people either love or hate that show.
it was good. But
So now we know how we feel
so-
about Lunatics Unleashed. How do we feel about this game's adaptation of Agrabah / Aladdin?
It would
It's
be
so
better if it
full
were
of
styled
people.
after Lunatics Unleashed.
So weird observation that I'm sure has never been made on a Kingdom Hearts Let's Play. I like the little like the wagon tracks on the ground to show like wagons and stuff being taken around the town. But I like how they're really like scribbly, but still like very distinctly two separate lanes of like wagon tracks, which gives me the impression that like the wagons go through, but the wheels are all like super wobbly and
They
just
go
like
along
going all
just like,
over the
dun,
place.
dun, 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 wagging all over the place.
I guess the folks peddling their wares in Agrabah can't afford the finest wagons.
But Trey,
The
People in
street
Agrabah.
rats, as
to
Jafar is
address
borderline obsessed with calling people.
that complaint, Trey, can Kingdom Hearts does cover itself in the story for why all of its worlds are completely devoid of people.
They're turned into Heartless.
They've been turned into Heartless.
So every time we smack a Heartless with our Keyblade, we're releasing their soul?
Kind of. Pretty much, yeah.
It's unclear.
A gate has opened somewhere.
Yeah, good luck finding it. It's just so weird in this like game based entirely off of Disney properties that we have to make these concessions like, oh yeah, the world is like creepily empty because everyone has been turned into a monster.
Also, as you'll see, the next time you kill a Heartless, a little heart comes out of them.
Yeah.
That heart would go back to the people were it not for the Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
It goes to the Kingdom Hearts instead. Sora is being tricked into putting the... Maybe the hearts didn't come out of the Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 1.
So is the Kingdom Heart the good or the bad?
Yes.
Join us next time as we find out in Kingdom Hearts 5.8.36.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure this
2,
question is not answered in 3.
Retread.
No,
See,
it isn't.
here's the thing, is that the Kingdom Hearts in Kingdom Hearts 2 is not Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
It's the false hearts.
It's a faker.
It's just like... It's just a big ball of souls that Xemnas is trying to put together to, like, get ultimate power.
Here's something...
I'm calling it now. We're gonna get to the end of Kingdom Hearts 9, the finale of Tetsuya Nomura's Triple Triad trilogy.
Ooh, can we play some Triple Triad? I'd be down. Love
Game
that
series, where we finally find out that Kingdom Hearts was the friends we made along the way.
Well, Sora knows without a doubt that Kingdom Hearts is light, so, you know.
So I like that you're coming in again at like a weird part of the movie, but also things are happening in really strange order.
It's part of the movie where just all hell was breaking loose.
Because like Aladdin already has Genie, or no, he's going to get Genie, but the Sultan has already been deposed. Things that did not happen in that order.
Well,
yeah, I think... I feel like your enjoyment of a Kingdom Hearts world is in, like, inverse proportion to how much you like the movie. It's kind of like with the Disney direct-to-video sequels, where it's like... I love Aladdin. Like, it's up there as, like, one of my favorite Disney movies, but, like... To me, this world just kind of highlights that maybe just the concept of Kingdom Hearts is just flawed, like, inherently, because you can't... You know, that movie was made... what am I trying to say here?
So,
You
counterpoint.
can't recapture, like, the quality of that movie in, like, a little, like, small section of a video. Like, that movie by itself probably had a bigger budget than this entire game.
I mean, that's true, because they got Robin Williams, and this game couldn't even afford Dan Castellaneta.
Well, it's because this isn't an educational game. If it was educational, they'd have gotten him in a heartbeat. But it's like they, you know, you see this problem in a lot of the Kingdom Hearts levels that try to, like, directly adapt the story of the movie they're based on, where they try to, like, hit all the beats and all the little memorable moments they try to get in there. But the problem is that, you know, they only have so much time in which to do that, and they only have so much budget and resources to do it with. So it always just comes off as, like, I don't know, it just... Like, I much prefer the worlds where it's like, let's just take the characters... Like, you know, I know we complained about the Alice in Wonderland world, but at least that one was like, okay, let's just take a few little characters and ideas from that movie and just make an original story out of it. Whereas the only thing I think when looking at this is like, wow, I'd much rather be watching the movie Aladdin.
I feel like you forgot that this is an educational game.
I have 8 small words for you, Joe. 10 small words. Toon Disney's hanging with the heroes, chilling with the villains.
Is Robin Williams in that?
No, it was more about the sentiment of, parsing what like these movies like Hercules or Aladdin down into these little like bite-sized chunky beats. Because
when you think about it,
the early 2000s.
And just to clarify, I don't mean to like get on Kingdom Hearts' case here. Like, I'm sure with what they had, you know, it's just an inherently bad situation to be in, to have to like, we have to adapt Aladdin in like 10 minutes of cutscenes, and with a fraction of the budget that movie had. Like, it's impressive that they were able to, like, for the time, get it as close as they did. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you've got two products here, and one is clearly a better told version of the story.
But
I hit almost nothing with that Sonic band back there. I'm embarrassed.
I'm convinced the best told version of this story is the one that Scheherazade tells.
Yeah, the one in the Arabian Nights? No, personally, I prefer the version from Sonic and the Secret Rings, but that's neither here nor there.
Technically speaking, Scheherazade doesn't tell this story. She tells two stories that are similar to this story.
God. And here Aladdin just completely blows his first wish.
Yeah.
Like, here's a good point. Here's a good point of contrast between the movie and the Kingdom Hearts adaptation. In the movie, Aladdin is, like, clever, and he gets the genie to, like, transport him out of the cave without using up a wish.
So,
as opposed to here, where it's just like, oh no, there's some bad guys. Let me use up one of my 3 magic wishes.
Here's a fun fact about the original Arabian Nights version of the story. He uses a wish to get out of the cave that he's trapped in, but it's not from the genie of the lamp, it's from the genie of the ring, which is just another genie that he finds in the Cave of Wonders, or Treasures, or whatever it was called.
There's a genie of the ring in Sonic and the Secret Ring.
Yes.
Is that game more accurate to the original story than the Disney movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, couldn't the genie of the ring grant him, like, unlimited wishes? They just weren't very powerful?
Something like that. I don't remember.
And then, like, the 3 big ones, like, you could wish for, like, anything. Like, no restrictions.
Probably something like that. I haven't actually, like, read these stories. This is secondhand information.
So, as much as people don't like Dan Castellaneta's Genie, I think this performance is good.
I mean...
Well, again, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, anybody who had to, like, fill in for Robin Williams was gonna get flack, but, like, you know, I think he does a good job. Happy to hear him.
You know whose performance people really don't like as the genie is Jim Meskimen. Who? Jim Meskimen. He does like ADR and looping for a lot of stuff. He's a very famous impressionist. He was on a couple episodes of Parks and Rec. Anyhow, he did Genie in like all of those like trivia games and like game show adaptations. And his Genie isn't great, which is surprising because I'm pretty sure that he's done like actual looping for Robin Williams in movies.
Well, yeah, so we're gonna get a little bit of exposition. I actually really like this scene. Like,
I guess you don't get out much.
Sora's like,
good timing, Sora.
yeah, he's curious.
3 wishes, then back to my portable prison. I'm lucky to see the light of day every
Also,
century.
portable prison. That's what I call my cell phone.
Hey.
Aw, I have 5 friends and 3 wishes. I wish I had 3 friends and 5 wishes.
Man.
Wait, they used up a wish.
I so desperately want to talk about so many ways in which they screwed up the story of the movie, but, like, I feel like that would just be incredibly tiresome.
Okay, so I would like to retract some earlier made comments. I was complaining about how the Fat Bandits and the Large Bodies color palettes have been changed up. The Fat Bandit color palette's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Large Bodies...
Was this any different?
It was... I'm pretty sure that he had, like... Oh god, I don't remember. He might have had a purple vest or something.
Maybe. He doesn't look bad, though.
But anyway, yeah, no, the Fat Bandits is good. It's just the large bodies that's bad.
He's not obnoxious mustard yellow, so it passes.
Oh. I thought that was going to be
so
like
we
an ability
have-
ring or something.
Yeah. So we have Aladdin, who's broke as heck.
Yeah. Genesis Aladdin, because he's got a sword.
Yeah.
You idiot, we've all got swords.
Aw.
Yeah, why couldn't we fight those guys?
That means the guards are
So,
now.
fun fact,
They're heartless too.
those guards are
liked them.
canon to the Kingdom Hearts universe because they're in Unchained, Unchained, and
Okay.
all of its ports.
Uh-huh.
So they do come back.
Well, isn't that
Well,
game's
no,
like...
that takes place like 30 to hundreds of years before Kingdom Hearts.
God. Is that the one? That's the mobile game, right?
Yeah, it's the mobile game that's like prequel-y.
That's the one where if you play it long enough, you'll get a free Keyblade in Kingdom
Sora
Hearts
appears
3.
behind you and stabs you with a Keyblade.
You would
And
have.
if you beat the main story in it, your name would be in Kingdom Hearts 3. And there's a really silly moment in Kingdom Hearts 3 where you're fighting a bunch of enchanted Keyblades, and there's just a bunch of names scrolling across the screen. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Of people who played the mobile game.
Though I must say, I like that
It's
they.
Tetsuya Nomura and his special thanks to our Kickstarter backers segment.
I mean, to be fair,
Pretty much.
this game has that too. Need I remind you of Kurt Ziza?
Yeah, but that's one guy.
That's true.
And an interesting boss fight.
I like that
Not
they.
a tornado of Keyblades and 5 million people's usernames.
I do like that they opened up the Kurt Ziza treatment to more people. I do think that that's neat.
They turn more people into
You
a
idiot.
giant
We're all Kurt
six-armed
Ziza.
snake monster.
It's one of those careful what you wish for situations where it's like some kid played Kingdom Hearts and they saw Craziest and they're like, man, I wish my name could be in the game. And then like they wished on the monkey's paw and then they get Kingdom Hearts 3 with a tornado of Keyblades and like 5 million names scrolling across the screen.
Yeah.
To be fair, not very many people played Unchained.
Yeah, at least 5 million.
We've got a segment where we show the names of everyone that beat Kingdom Hearts
What are you
Unchained.
doing there? You just
and
let
it's
Aladdin
just
take
like
care of this?
3 names scroll by. One of them is Tetsuya Nomura.
I wanted to get that reflect. I wanted to get that reflect shot off on him to show that it does a crap load of damage to him.
Oh, okay.
But like he was stuck in the doorway, and I wanted the experience.
Aladdin,
So, like, Aladdin
I'm
kept-
trying to do a thing here.
Yeah, I was trying to show off the mechanic, and Aladdin just like keeps him trapped in there and does 0 damage the whole time.
Is Aladdin, I know we mentioned this briefly earlier, but is Aladdin the only partner in, or world-specific partner in Kingdom Hearts that has like a special ability?
Yes.
In Kingdom Hearts 1, is
Or
he? I
as-
think Ariel
he-
might as well.
Like a puzzle-solving ability. Because I don't think
Yeah.
Ariel does anything of the sort.
No, because you learn Super Swim on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aladdin is the only one that is like, you're required to equip him and use him for like something.
Actually,
Yeah.
you're not. You don't have to use Aladdin. The only thing, basically, what Aladdin does is he can send Abu to activate certain distance switches. That'll give you access
Yeah.
to new areas with treasure in them. But in order to like
monkey
complete
switches.
Agrabah, you never have to use Aladdin. It's just for
I
bonuses.
thought
Yeah.
there was one that was required, but I guess not.
Nope. To my knowledge, anyway.
He knows
Gotta
about the
stop
Keyblade.
Jafar.
Wait, Genie's only been in his lamp for 200 years? Is that what he
guess.
just said?
Well, no, maybe
It
the
looked like
last time
that's
he
what
was
said.
out was 200 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
Well,
I
no, in
meant.
the movie
I
he
meant
says he was in there for
yeah.
10,000 years. Is he
Well,
referring to like
this
the
is-
yeah.
collective 10,000 years or like the 10,000 years it's
possible.
been since he was freed?
Well, I don't know, because he says that it can give you such a crick in the neck, so one would assume that he was in there the whole time, but also, compared to the amount of time that he's out, it could just be that cumulatively, the amount of time that he's out is, like, trivial compared to the amount of time that he's in.
Yeah, maybe since he's been quarantined for so long that he's lost all track of time. I couldn't relate.
Yeah, that's never happened to me at work.
He doesn't get to get out much because someone finds his lamp and they let him out, and he's like, "Oh, finally I can be out," and they just immediately blow all their 3 wishes on like, "Get rid of these 2 guys that are attacking me."
I wish for a
and
sandwich.
then he goes back in the lamp.
Dude, I can just make you a sandwich. I have bread and meats and stuff in my fridge. Anyway.
Well, if you, like Genie, are trapped for 10,000 years, fear not, because you will always have GearChat Games playing Kingdom Hearts to entertain you endlessly. Next episode.